happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice. In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television. Don't just react, understand. Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more, tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count. It's awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
In a world where power shifts its every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
Hello there, welcome on board TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Sincerely, it's actually buzzing, at the PC out here. I don't know what they are celebrating. Maybe because it is salary week or what have you, but something is going on within them because I've been begging them for us to actually come on air and And these guys have actually been pulling my legs. But thank God that they've approved for me to actually come on here now. Welcome on board. Yes, it's quite a wonderful time to realize that this January is not as long as we actually predicted. You know, usually January is always a 5 in 1 month, but for the very first time, we entered into January and we just wrapped up January. So I think it should be a thing of celebration for you too out there. Yes, it is People's Voice, where season stories shape the narrative. And today we're dissecting two major stories that are dominating the headline and sparking conversation across the nation. Yahaya Bello gets permission for Hajj amid 80.2 billion fraud trial. This is actually a very serious one there. And all we have been asking is some people, or is Yahaya Bello, let me just, go straight to him. Is Yahaya Bello different from every other person who is going through so much from the EFCC or from, our judicial system? Because I don't understand what is going on where some people can actually get a soft landing and some are actually being held, hostage. Some people don't even know where their international passport is as we speak. But Yahaya Bello was given, and it was said that he's free to actually go, for Hajj. Let's just keep it here until we start dissecting the conversation. Nigerians want competence, not zoning. This is coming from Olawepo Ashim, writer. Join the conversation with experts in sciences and perspective. Share your thoughts with us. I am Savior Udo. Let's look into other news stories with details. Petrol price set to rise as crude oil price hits $70.30 per barrel. The price of Nigerian's Bonilite crude has risen to $70.30 per barrel, a 10% increase from the $64 per barrel last week. This rise is expected to lead to an increase in petrol prices, as crude oil is main determinant of input costs. Petrol stations have already started marking up their prices, with some selling at $8.50 per litre, up from $7.50. The Dangote refinery has also increased its gantry price of petrol from $6.99 per litre to $7.99 per litre. Industry experts warn that the rise in crude oil prices will lead to higher energy costs, increased pressure on household budgets, and potentially trigger inflation. We just hope that this particular will not get out of hand before it is caught and bring back to normal, because we're actually projecting that the price would actually go down, not surging. So we don't know, what has actually triggered this, but in the coming days we'll get clarity as regards to the pricing. Police condemn attack on journalists, vow to protect media. The Nigerian police force has condemned attacks on journalists, describing such action as unprofessional against police ethics. ASP Olamiju Olubumi, a police spokesperson, stated that journalists are partners in ensuring the protection of Nigerians and should not be attacked while performing their duties. She urged journalists to report any misconduct by police personnel to ensure prompt action is taken. And of course, the National President of Nigerian Union of Journalism, NUJ, also highlighted the importance of journalist safety and the need for better collaboration between the Nigerian police and the media. This is actually, one of the concerns that we've been talking about. The Nigerian police don't really, I wouldn't say all of them, because of course I also have friends in the force, and aside from having friends in the force, we also have some that we actually get to meet on a daily basis. Some are really okay, some are good, some are better, even in character, and in terms of relating with the media, with a media personnel. But when you see some, they look threatening whenever they hear that, oh, you are a broadcast journalist, you're a journalist, you're a broadcaster. They look threatening, you're a media person. But once you mention it, The next thing is, you want to teach my job or you want whatever, stay away, go back, and all of that. So I think we should understand that we're all, doing, almost the same thing as regards to you are protecting lives and properties, and we are here to actually give, clearer information, as regards to the people, and make sure that we help you sensitize every necessary information that needs to get to the public. So we are all doing the same thing in the long run, just to see that everyone is actually living in the same environment. So the situation where you see journalists at a particular place, be it a protest ground or what have you, and you're already triggered, it should stop. It really should stop. And away from that particular one, Kano Emirship tussle to end soon, says state government. The Kano state government has announced that the long-standing emirship tussle in the state is nearly going to end, because the governor has actually said that in the coming days he will be having different meetings with the head to see how to navigate better. The Commissioner of Information and Internal Affairs, Ibrahim Yahaya, and of course some contenders will step down peacefully for the sake of unity and development in Kano. Yahaya disclosed that the issue will be resolved amicably through dialogue and understanding, with the state government committed to engaging all relevant stakeholders. The commissioner emphasized that the administration remains focused on governance, unity, and development, urging residents to remain calm and supportive as efforts continue to stabilize the situation. The ongoing tension surrounding the Kano Emirate stems from long-standing disputes over the restructuring of the national institution. Right away from that particular one, Senate Constitute Committee to review Electoral Act. The Senate has confirmed a 7-member committee to review and harmonize input on the proposed amendment to the Electoral Act. The committee, led by Senator Niyi Adegbomire, chairman of the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, will submit its report to the Senate within 3 days. The proposed amendment aims to strengthen electoral integrity, enhance transparency, and boost public confidence in the electoral system. The bill introduces stiffer sanctions for electoral offenses, including vote buying, and mandates the electronic transmission of polling unit results. The committee's report is expected to be crucial in shaping the country's electoral framework ahead of the 2027 general elections. I love the fact that we actually, talked about this conversation just 2 days ago. I think that was on Wednesday, yes, and the Senate actually taking this up. It shows that media still has, power to get there. I remember that Mr. Ivy sending me a message yesterday, and he said, "Oh, Safi, have you seen the news? They're actually taking it serious now. They're even having issues because they said that we neglected, this electoral amendment bill, that they have to talk about it and all of that." But I'm happy that the Senate is actually taking this up now. And let's come here to the APC quarters now. APC engaging Wike to resolve Rivers crisis, says Bashiru. The All Progressive Congress has confirmed that it is engaging former Rivers State Governor and current Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, in ongoing effort to resolve the political crisis in Rivers State. APC National Secretary Jibola Bashiru made this disclosure during an interview noting Wike's critical role in the state's political landscape and his support for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Bashiru assured Nigerians that the crisis would be settled amicably without winners or losers, and promised that details of the resolution would be shared publicly in the coming days. Are we going to say that Wike is really powerful? Because, 1 second or 1 minute or 1 hour, it is looking like is losing on one side, and the other minute it is looking like, oh, they're trying to pacify Wike, and it's looking like Fubara is losing and all of that. But I love the fact that the National Secretary said there won't be any loser or winner, okay? They just want to see how to settle the situation. But if it is coming from the National Chairman, if it is coming from the National Secretary, so it means that in one way or the other, Wike has been pacified, and maybe, just maybe, the president is not actually in support of whatsoever the secretary also said to Wike. And but the only one that the president did not respond to was the one that Bola mentioned, And till now, no one has actually cautioned Buhala as regards to what he said. But of course, he didn't actually make any assertion out of place. He only said that Fubara is the leader of APC in Rivers State and not Wike. That was all he actually, said. But if situation, if the situation would actually turn out to be like this as regards to, looking for how to, broker peace among Wike and Fubara, it shows that Wike actually still holds, the political structure of Rivers State. And I think everyone should actually understand that fact. And I've been saying this, with all of my analysts, but they kept saying, oh, Wike is gone, Wike is gone. For them to actually say they want to settle with Wike, do you know what that means? Let's move on from this particular one to the Ogun State quarters. Ogun State hands over Hajj University to federal government. Governor of Ogun State, Dapo Abiodun, has formally handed over the Hajj University of Education, Ijegun, to the federal government. The memorandum of understanding for the transfer was signed during the institution's 17th convocation ceremony. The federal government has announced the takeover of the university in March 2025 to strengthen teachers' education in the country. The First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, announced a 50 million endowment of fund for the overall best graduating female student of the university for 10 years. Okay, that's quite a very wonderful one there. Let's see how this will actually turn out. We want federal government to even do better than the state government. And now let's come back to Senate. Of course, the plenary, opened their plenary, and so much is being treated as we speak. The Senate launches probe into Nigerians' failing railway system. The Nigerian Senate has launched a comprehensive investigation into the country's railway system, citing operational inefficiencies, insecurity, and alleged financial improprieties. A 6-week probe will examine contract execution, funding patterns, operational efficiency, and service delivery. The committee, led by Senator Adams Oshiomhole, will also investigate the utilization of loans obtained for rail projects. The move aims to address concerns over declining service delivery across key rail corridors. Right? We're actually happy about this particular one because aside from the Lagos-Ibadan railway system that is really functioning for now, I think we can't really boast of that, the one in the north, and of course the one at Itakwe, right? If I'm correct with that particular pronunciation, as regards to Kogi State to Edo, yes, that particular corridor as well. So because I've applied some of these particular ones, and we know that it is either you take from Rigasa in Kaduna to Idu. Sometimes before you get there, they tell you train stopped, you have to wait and they fix again and all of that. And of course, the insecurity is actually another situation there. So, but if they would actually look into this and make the result public, whatsoever findings, investigation they get, let them make it public for Nigerians to actually see. And with that, we'll actually take, this government is serious and know that they're actually transparent enough. NNPP rejects call for Kano Deputy Governor's resignation. The New Nigerian People's Party has rejected calls for the resignation of Kano State Deputy Governor Aminu Abdulsalam Gwazo, following Governor Abba Yusuf's defection to the APC. Of course, the party's publicity secretary, Engineer Ibrahim Karaye, stated that the deputy governor remains constitutionally empowered to continue in office despite the governor's defection. The NNPP described the call of Gwazo's resignation as politically motivated and contrary to constitutional provision guiding governance in the state. And let's take it to the Abia State quarters now. I am still in Labour Party, says Abia Governor. Governor Alex Oti has stated that he is still a member of the Labour Party, but noted that nobody knows what the future holds. Okay, Oti made this known during the media interaction, adding that the party's internal issues should not be a concern for the public. The governor also dismissed reports that he would be sued by former governors for not leaving the state government house, saying he's ready to be sued and that his lawyer are prepared. To join the conversation, kindly call the number 090-447-32605, 090-447-32605. Follow us on social media at VOB TV Live. You can use the hashtag People's Voice on VOB TV, and of course on YouTube, we're Voice of the People TV. Kindly hit the subscribe button, and together we can make our voices heard. It is time for us to go on a quick break. As soon as we return, we'll be taking the first conversation here. Yahaya Bello gets a permission for Hajj amid 80.2 billion fraud trial. Don't go nowhere. Stay tuned, please. I'll be right back.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more. Tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. People's Voice, Mondays through Thursdays, 4 p.m. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count.
In a world where power shifts with every headline,
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing.
And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world, because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
Welcome back to the program. It is still People's Voice on Voice of People Television. A federal high court in Abuja has granted former Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello permission to travel to Saudi Arabia for the 2026 Lesser Hajj, despite his ongoing trial for alleged 80.2 billion fraud. The court approved the release of Bello's international passport from March 13, 2026 for 10 days. Justice Emeka Nwite granted the application after Bello's lawyer, Joseph Daudu, SAN, moved the motion citing the former governor's desire to observe the last 10 days of Ramadan in the Holy Land. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, did not oppose the request but insisted that the trial dated remain unchanged. Bello is facing a 19-count alleged money laundering, criminal breach of trust, and misappropriation of public funds amounting to about 80.2 billion naira. When I'm being joined by Mr. Ekundayo Lawa, a social and political analyst. You're welcome on board, sir.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Lawa, you were just smiling all through the news stories, and I know you have so much to say as regards to any of the news story. But of course, we're also being joined by one of my comrades there. I don't know if he's there, but of course, I would need to get clearance from my PCR before I can actually mention his name. But Mr. Lawa, I would like you to take care of the news stories, please.
Mm-hmm. All of them are interesting. I will start with the Yahaya Bello case.
Okay.
And I also go to the Wike's case.
Okay.
Now,
no, Yahaya Bello is the main conversation.
I know.
So I want you to take other one before we come back to Yahaya Bello. Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, then let me look at Wike.
Okay.
And there's some others. Now, I will liken Nigerians' case to a piece of egg a raw egg in its shell, that beautiful shell, and it's falling from the sky down to a rock. When it hits the rock, you know what is going to happen. That is the case of Nigeria. You can see a lot of abnormalities. In fact, not a lot, everything abnormal in this country. Everything abnormal. Even look at the case of fuel. Internationally, when the price of petroleum is increasing, the people are rejoicing. But in Nigeria, when the price of crude oil, when the price of crude oil is increasing, in other countries that are producing, that are exporting oil, they are always happy that the price of crude oil is increasing, they will make more money. The people are happy. But when it comes to Nigeria, the people are sad. Each time the price of crude oil is increasing, are we not supposed to be rejoicing that the government will make more money and more money will go into the to infrastructure development of the nation? But Nigerians are already afraid. You know why? Because immediately it transcends to the increment in petrol price and diesel. Everything goes up along with it. It's only this country, and I begin to wonder, as if these leaders do not represent us, as if they represent themselves only. If Saudi is developing based on the fact that the price of crude oil is increasing internationally. Dubai is developing because the price of crude oil is increasing internationally. So many other countries, America, everybody, Russia is benefiting. But when it comes to Nigeria, the moment the price of crude oil increases here, it translates to hardship for Nigeria because the price of petrol will increase. Why? Because in those places, the extra money that they make from it is used to subsidize the people so that the people feel the pressure less and they are more comfortable. But here, it's a different thing. It's automatically transferred to Nigerians and they will cry. From when are we going to get over this?
Okay.
Look at the Wike issue too. It's a joke. It's a joke. What do you want to negotiate? You are calling the governor and the person who is disturbing the governor.
Okay.
And you want to discuss between them. Why? Where are you supposed to call Wike to order? We see the way they keep trying to romance as if we are not important in this country. As if they live totally out of us. Wike has been a nuisance to this nation, both nationally, internationally, and statewide. But the only thing that the ruling party is concerned about is how they are going to win 2027. They don't care any other thing.
Okay, Mr. Lawa, thank you so much for that particular one. You know, I actually told you here, and you were seated on that same seat when I told you, I said that. Do you think that it is really, really over for Wike? But of course, I understand where, your conversation tilted to the other day because you said Wike kept on doing so much and they were playing drums for him. He was dancing. You said something like that, Yes, but now it is gradually showing.
No, it's not.
It's gradually looking like Wike is actually at the end of so many affairs.
No, it's
when
not.
It comes to,
you know what? I told you that time. I told you that it put the president in a dilemma.
Yeah.
Dilemma of, if I remove this guy, it's going to affect me. Because people will say, people who work with you eventually, abandon them. You always reward people who work with you.
Okay.
And if he leaves him, he's creating problems in the party, in the people, in the state. So you know what he wants to do. That's why they said negotiation. They will have to find a way to make him keep quiet by taking some things away from him. And also giving him something.
You can't ask someone to just like your word to keep quiet, or you can ask someone to come because you wanted to share the sword, but you want to take things away from him, and you think you want to broker peace. If you want to take things from him, then you don't want to broker peace, and I don't think Wike would want anybody to take anything. Do you know
they've taken most of things from him?
I'd like to also go straight to our virtual guest here. We're also being joined by Comrade Ezeoko Splendor, 2023 Labour Party governorship candidate of Ebonyi State. Hello, Comrade.
Can you hear me?
Comrade, your voice is quite low. Okay, I think we have a caller there. Let's take this call. I'll come back to you, Comrade. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me, Savior? I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Yes,
I can hear you.
comrade.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Welcome
Savior.
on board. Welcome on board, comrade.
Yes, good to be here, and good evening, viewers. My name is Comrade Splendor Okoeze from a boy state, 2023 governorship candidate of Labour Party.
Okay.
It's my pleasure to be here with you again.
All right, you're welcome on board, comrade.
Thank you so much.
All right. And also we are being joined by Francis Ugonna Njoku, a social political analyst, is joining us all the way from United Kingdom. Hello, Francis, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much.
You're welcome on board.
You're welcome. To our viewers, thank you for making our time to be with us today.
All right. Quickly, I would like to start with you, Francis. I saw some of your submission as regards to the corruption in the nation, and this was the reason why I told you, okay, it will be better that we actually, do this program. It's so surprising that when the likes of Ngige, the likes of Malami, so many of them that are not in the APC are going through so much as we speak. But Yahaya Bello has been, permitted to actually go to Hajj. And not only that, of course, his passport was released, to him to actually fly for 10 days to the Holy Land.
It's in luxury.
What are the, how will I even call it? Like, is it like some people in Nigeria, are exempted from, the right punishment that was meant to, be accorded to them? Because I remember what Oshiomhole said. Oshiomhole said, if you move to the APC, your sins are forgiven. And we saw the trajectory. Okowa left. Akpabio came. We can mention more. Immediately they moved, their sins were forgiven. The reason why it is looking like the former governor of Akwa Ibom State. The reason why it's looking like the former governor of Akwa Ibom State, Udom Emmanuel. The reason why it's looking like he's still going through a lot is because he has decided not to move to the APC. And if I may ask you, are we really following what is right when it comes to our judicial system of government in Nigeria? And is EFCC, are they really, transparent enough with some of their high-profile cases?
Anyway, thank you for having me. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, please go ahead.
All right. When it comes to the problem that is going on in Nigeria in the area of corruption, first of all, I must give kudos to EFCC. EFCC, as an organization, they have been doing their best when it comes to prosecution of cases. But the problem of Nigeria is very much compounded. It's compounded in the sense that it's not just about prosecution of individuals who are engaged in crime. It is about, even if the head of the EFCC has the willpower to do it, the system has been created in a way that the effort will always be frustrated. And this is one of the major reasons why it appears that criminality, looting, never ends in Nigeria. If you look at the system very well, you will see that there are a lot of criminal cases, people who were prosecuted for looting public funds, and at the end of the day, they were all granted presidential pardon. Look at the case of the former governor of Delta State, James Ibori. EFCC spent a lot of resources to prosecute Ibori. At the end, he was indicted, he was, jailed, only for the president to grant him presidential pardon. And it also happens in the case of Omar Farouk, the former House of Rep member.
House of Rep member, yes.
Who collected, bribe from the company of Femi Otedona. At the end of the day, you will see that the EFCC invested a lot of money to ensure that the prosecution is completed. And then at the end, the presidency granted him pardon. In one of the recent statements, he said that his hope has been renewed after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu granted him pardon. So it is not the problem of EFCC. And also, if you check the analysis of the former head of presidential advisor in public prosecution, in one of the interviews he had with Shehu or in Mike on podcast, the man rightly stated that as the head of public prosecution, he saw a lot of things go wrong right before him. They even recovered thousands of vehicles, billions of naira. And then at the end, you will see that people like Malami, who was the Attorney General of the Federation at the time, will facilitate the money to be sent back to where, and the items to be returned back to where they were all gotten from. You would see, Ngozo Konjiwana rightly said, that fighting corruption is not easy because corruption must fight back. This is the reason why almost all the heads of EFCC would always bow out of the office in shame. It is not new to you. I'm sure you've seen how almost all the heads of EFCC were all removed out of office, and some of them even ended up going into prison for perhaps maybe collecting bribe at the cost of trying to fight corruption. So it is a compounded issue. Yahaya Bello, for instance, today, with all the things he has done and all the glaring evidence we have today against him, you will be very surprised to see that there is still delay in the prosecution process. I'm not saying that it should be swift in a way, because justice is not to be done. Justice is to be not just to be done, but to be seen to have been done. So it means the prosecution and the judiciary must dot all I's and cross all T's to ensure that, because justice, true justice, is a three-way traffic. Justice to the offender, justice to the society, and even justice to the victim. So if any of this is not achieved, then it's lopsided. So, but when you look at, because unfortunately we are running what we call, we are in Nigeria, we are not running like a reverse onus. There is what we call reverse onus justice system, or opposite of inquisitory justice system, where the onus of proof lies on the prosecutor. For instance, if you are sat, you will prove. But if we are running a reverse onus justice system, you will see that when you are accused, the onus lies on you to come and prove your innocence. And with this, it would have been saving the Nigerian society a lot of money. But at the end, when these people are done, when the government through the agencies are done spending money in millions just to prosecute a case, you will see that, you know, it just takes one executive order or pardon, and the person is already back to the street.
All right, Francis.
If you check the case of Hajj Okano, please let me round up. If you check the case of Hajj Okano was prosecuted. At the end, he was jailed. Do you know how that case was quashed out? It was quashed out because, according to Supreme Court, the court that sentenced Kanu lacked jurisdiction to have entertained the matter. The question now is, since when do we reduce the much attention we pay on technicalities and focus on merit of cases? So we don't know. Today now, Kanu is working on this. In fact, he's even a sitting senator now. So it means the money he looted, he has been set free just because the court that prosecuted him lacked merit. All the evidences were valid. Even the judgment was valid, just that the court lacked merit and lacked the jurisdiction. And that was the end of the case.
All right.
So you see the reason why Nigeria continues to wallow in perpetual pain and penury. People living in poverty, even when we have abundance.
Okay. Thank you so much, Francis. I love the fact that you gave clarity on different ends. You know, and you said so much, but you saying that EFCC is doing so much, or EFCC has done so much, and they're actually innocent of all of this, meaning that they're transparent enough, but the problem is actually coming from our judicial system, you know, and of course the executive arm of government, maybe with the legislators, you know, the politicians. But I remember that the same EFCC actually, you know, declared Yahaya Bello wanted some time ago. And not only that, they knew where he was, but of course they declared him wanted. Not only that, the EFCC chairman, you know, Pastor Lukoyede, of course, he's a pastor. We know him to be a pastor. You know, he said that he would resign if he doesn't prosecute Yahaya Bello, or if he doesn't see the matter to the end. And today, the same EFCC, 2 weeks ago, they released a statement that until the court has proven him guilty, otherwise Yahaya Bello is not. And I was just surprised. Is it like if you didn't do your due diligence, you didn't do your job properly before even declaring someone wanted? Or
you don't have to be surprised. The reason why you don't need to be surprised is because what EFCC stated is the pure fact. EFCC lacks the locus, they lack the capacity to declare Yahaya Bello a criminal.
Of course.
The only thing they will do is to present to the court the evidence they have against Yahaya Bello. It is left for the court to either declare him a criminal or not. Meanwhile, this is just a school of thought.
All right, thank you so much, Francis. Let me move up now. Hello, Comrade Splendor, are you there? Please unmute your mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Comrade.
Okay, I'm here with you.
Yeah, so what implication might this court decision have on the ongoing trial for Yahaya Bello? And of course, don't forget that Yahaya Bello is also aspiring to become a senator in Kogi State, where Natasha is representing presently. I'd like to just take this in a few minutes before I come back to the studio, please.
Savio, I really want to register my displeasure towards the way and manner political issues are treated in this country. You see, when an ordinary citizen, steals a goat, he is stoned to death. But when a political office holder uses his biro to steal billions of naira, he is treated with levity. Honestly speaking, this is the reason why the country is not progressing the way it's supposed to be progressing. You see, Yahaya Bello was the governor of Kogi State, and as at that point, it was declared that Yahaya Bello has a case of 80.2 billion naira around his neck, and was declared wanted some time ago, and the matter started, just like other matters like Malami's own that started. Malami was not granted access to even travel out of the country. The big question is, what is different from that of Yahaya Bello? Why is he enjoying so much protection? What has he done so differently that will make him look as if he is untouchable? You see, when cases like this are not treated the way it's supposed to be treated, it gives room for other politicians to still continue to steal the people's money. Politics, of course, is supposed to be a call to service. Come and serve your people. It is not a call for self-aggrandizement. If you look at Yahaya Bello's convoy, even as a former governor, you will see the type of vehicles he rides on the road. There are billions of naira. What can the poor masses do? That is the question. When the people are wallowing in abject poverty, and the people that were elected to serve them are moving around with such exotic cars, that leaves a lot of questions to be answered. Even the man who is accused of 80.2 billion naira is still going about bragging, snapping picture with president, and even bragging to contest for the senatorial position in their state, which means he doesn't care. All you people are saying, all the EFCC is saying, to him is nonsense. The other day I saw his snapping picture with the president. How can Mr. President allow somebody who has such criminal matter to be snapping picture with him? That makes the whole nonsense of the whole thing. And for me, in the developing world, take for instance in US, you cannot have such a criminal matter and you go to meet Trump to snap picture with Trump, or do you go about and be bragging that you are going to unseat the serving senator that you are going to contest, which means to you that criminal charge is nothing. After all, if I've stolen 100 billion naira, I can only give them 20 billion naira and they will be singing my praises. That's what it means. So you go about to steal more so that anybody who catches you, you will just settle the person with a peanut. This is the problem we're having in this country. And let me tell you also, Xavier, that apart from Yahaya Bello's case, there are so many criminal matters that have been investigated and indicted the suspects that are yet to be brought to court because of what? Bribery and corruption. Take, for instance, my matter against Julius Abure.
All right, so comrade, we're pressed for time. I need to come back to the studio, please. I need to come back to the studio. All right, and I wouldn't want us to deviate from the conversation, please. Thank you so much for your understanding. All right, Mr. Lawa, I know you have a reservation as regards to this Yahaya Bello's case, but is the EFCC transparent enough?
No.
And aside from that, if this particular man is given the opportunity for 10 days, does that mean that he's getting a fair or VIP treatment compared to every other person? Now, is this a party thing?
No, EFCC is writing love letter to Yahaya Bello. That's just it.
Because they didn't oppose the court. They didn't oppose the court. That's
what I'm
decision.
saying. That they are writing a love letter to Yahaya Bello. All those prosecutions they are saying they are prosecuting him is a love letter to him. That's what they are saying. EFCC is not transparent. EFCC is supposed to be scrapped. Scrap it. Reformulate a proper legislation for a crime commission that will fight crime, so that we can have a proper crime fighting commission in this country. EFCC is a joke. EFCC is supposed to be scrapped. It's supposed to be today, this moment, they need to sit down on this EFCC and scrap it. Yes, because you want to go to court. You took somebody to court, and then you are telling me that it is when the court declared the person guilty that you agree. The question: did you just stroll down to the court? Did you stroll down to the court to just have a chat with the court, and the court now invited him? You took evidences to court.
Enough evidences.
And then you are coming back to tell us that, well, that means you are not sure of the evidences. You took a blank file to the court. You took a blank...
Because if you had all your evidences straight, I don't think you would even use
this doesn't make sense.
Such statement.
This is you are supposed to be scrapped. And for this thing they did now on Yahaya Bello, that EFCC is supposed to be totally today. By the end of this week, we're supposed to have heard that EFCC has been decommissioned. It's supposed to be totally decommissioned. These things cannot even happen in police station. Like you took a person, a criminal, so you have evidence against police station, and police will take that person to court and be telling you that, well, let the court. They'll be telling you at that court, at that station, that they have evidences. He has done. In fact, they'll be explaining to you why they think that person will be put behind bars. A lawyer will be telling you why that person will be put there, that he has enough evidence to put this person behind bars. Now, EFCC is telling us that after going to court, after inviting him, look at the process. So after you didn't tell the whole world, when people wrote petition to you, when they were saying it, you didn't tell the whole world that, no, we don't have enough evidence to prosecute this person. You told the whole world that you have evidence to prosecute.
You even said that you will resign if you don't prosecute this particular person.
And then you are in court. Somebody that is suspected, that is have such a big case, applied to not to travel to a state, to another state, not for medical reasons,
to go to the Holy Land.
Yes, to travel out of the country, not for emergency, not for emergency case, it's for luxury, just go there and have fun. You get it?
It's prayer.
Not just like you want to say, I want to go for tourism. Maybe it's basic. I even tell you, yes, I want to go for tourism in Dubai. He has a case, and in Dubai, the EFCC will not complain. They'll just, okay, you can go.
Okay.
Do you know how many times they have seized Shore's passports?
Of course.
Do you know how many times?
No, I'm even surprised.
The government
that was the reason why I was
passports.
asking you. I said, is this about political protection? Because Malami is still facing, the situation here. We have
even this Malami's son collapsed. They didn't even allow him to go for medical.
And I'm surprised. Yahaya Bello has been strolling around the Kogi government
house.
That is
looking fine, looking okay, looking not. He even say he's having meetings, snapping with people, enjoying himself, and he has such an high-profile case. And then the EFCC didn't object. They didn't even bother to object. They didn't object for the guy to go for tourism. You know that the place is going is tourism. Yeah. For him to go for tourism in another country outside Nigeria, when you have a high-profile case like that, 80 billion, for goodness sake.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Lawal. We are pressed for time.
Just 1 minute.
Just go. We don't even have up to that.
Less than 1. See, that's 80 billion.
80.2 billion.
80.2 billion. 40 years ago, that 80 billion is the budget of half of the country's, the state in half of this country. It's now somebody's, coffers, and then the person is saying that, well, this is when the court declared, and the court is already telling us where they are going by this point.
Okay.
They're already telling us where they are going.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lawal, for your final conversation here. Thank you so much. This is how far we can actually go. It's so painful that whenever we actually think that 1 hour is enough, but it's not loose enough. The time is not loose enough. Thank you so much, Francis, for joining the program today. Of course, I'll have more of you sometime next week. And thank you so much, Comrade Splendor, for being part of the program.
If you don't mind,
I am pressed for time.
Just 1 minute.
Don't worry.
Okay, can I go for
it? Thank you so much, Mr. Lawal, for being part of the show. If you loved World of Sport, I'd like you to stay put. Coming up next is Locker Room. Of course, I don't give up because it is not over. Tough time doesn't last, but tough will last. Whatsoever you face will soon be over, and you will definitely smile again. My name remains Savior Udo. Have a good evening. Rest.
Hello there, my name is Damilola Ogunsi, also known as the Goldfish.
Hi, my name is Chiki Bright Emmanuel. I'm an actor and a filmmaker.
Hello, peeps.